Your mind is going to do everything it can to sabotage you from being what you actually are because you think what you are is your past. Are you getting me? If you think who you are is someone who makes $40,000 a year and you try to create a vision for next year, you're probably going to create it from the limitation of I make $40,000 a year. So you'll create something that's realistic to someone that makes $40,000 a year. I can picture myself making $50,000 the next year. If you think who you are is someone who makes $40,000 a year and someone offers you $1 million, well, that's death to who you are. So you're going to sabotage it. And this is why a lot of lotto winners go broke. People that win the lottery end up going broke because it was death to the story of who they are. They weren't in alignment to receive that because they thought who I am is someone who gets love because I tell people that I'm broke. Someone who I am is someone who gets love because I say that I'm a victim. We are trained that we get love for being depressed. When you're sad, a lot of people are there for you. So we get totally wired that you get love when you're not happy. Right? You better keep sabotaging stuff because your friends might not like you if you start to thrive. Trust me on this. This happens. And anyone who has Facebook knows what I'm talking about. You can always go on Facebook to feel lack so that you feel back at home. Right? Oh, there was a party I didn't even know about? Like, why are those two Facebook friends? I didn't know. How do those two people know each other? And you feel lack. And then you actually feel bad, but you've trained yourself that feeling bad is the place you're used to living, so we stay there. So we actually try to stay feeling like crap. So you ignore the calling all day. I always talk about this, but there's two voices in us. There's a first voice that says, what if we did this? And it feels good. You know the voice is the voice when it doesn't have any reason why, and it can't tell you anything past the first move. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Because your mind comes in and goes, well, I want to see the entire thing. So the first voice goes, let's leave this company. That's all it can say. Let's ask that person out. Go into nature, write a book, whatever it is. That's what the voice says. It's just a feeling. That feeling we have 24 hours a day and we never listen to it, right? And it's just a feeling. It can't tell you why because you've never done it, right? That feeling is a feeling. It cannot tell you why because you've never ever done the thing. But that feeling is a preview. It's saying if you actually do it, you'll always feel this way. So we ignore it usually because we've created the thing that we actually pay attention to, which is the collection of thoughts that you learn from society that tell you why you shouldn't, and it comes up with the stupidest reason why. We should leave this company. Yeah, but if we do, we can't go to the Cheesecake Factory party next Thursday. And the first voice is like, if you'd learn to listen to me, you'll own all the Cheesecake Factories in 2 months and you could make them all vegan if you wanted. But I can't tell you that. The voice is like, I can't tell you that. You know why? Because then you wouldn't be moving from faith, would you? You'd be moving from certainty. You'd be moving from protection. Will I have security if I leave this job? Because you're under the illusion that your security is outside of you. Everyone thinks, well, I just need to have security. You never have security outside of you. I know nothing about anything other than in my creative times as a stand-up comic of 25 years, there is a creative us that has been stifled, that has been scared, that has been doing everything it can to just stop itself from thriving. And that you're this infinite creative being. But if you think about what Martin Luther King was capable of doing, or Gandhi was capable of doing, or Mother Teresa, or anyone you can think of who did something amazing, anything they did implies you can do that. And I always think to myself, what would happen if 1,000 Martin Luther Kings showed up at the same time? Right? And there's 1,400 in here, and all I see is nothing but that potential available. And the only thing stopping us is our mind goes, yeah, but because of the past. Yeah, but I'm not like that because of the past. Yeah, but that's not me. No, if you realize you're just this moment, we are all the same. You, me, Obama, a homeless guy, Oprah, it doesn't matter. All we are is just heart and lungs, and there's no better or worse than all of a sudden. You're just infinite potential. And at this place, you can give and receive anything. You can give and receive millions of dollars or ideas or possibilities or just do something creative. A lot of times what we do is we go, what if I did this? And it'll be this amazing cutting edge idea that could totally impact the world and could be worth a lot of money and could help a lot of people. But you go, yeah, but I wouldn't do that. And the I is the old story of you. So you sabotage it. Anyone who's ever been in a relationship way too long because eventually you guys might go camping knows what I'm talking about. Well, I want to break up with him, but like in 3 months we're supposed to go camping and I don't want to screw that up. So I'm going to stay hating this person for 3 more months and then camp with the person I hate. That's how we move, though. We listen to this stupid voice that keeps you in the same story that tells you why you shouldn't over and over and over again. And that story is only based on your past experiences, trying to keep you the same story as the person that was just trying to get love from one of your parents. Imagine if we went to another planet right now, all of us. We go to a planet, they're 20 feet tall aliens, no one speaks English, right? And for 20 years, each of us is assigned separately. We can't see each other. We're assigned separately to 2 giant aliens for 20 years. And every once in a while, one of them comes home drunk. He's like, and then when one of them notices when I sing, the other one likes me. He's like, hello, my baby. And it's like, oh. You know. So for 20 years, you'll start to create all of these little patterns and habits to make sure that the aliens don't physically hurt you and that you get love, right? You start to realize I better tap dance when mom's around and I'll get love. But there's a 5-year-old you that's trying to get love from something and it's trying to avoid pain from something else. But then when you're done with the aliens for 20 years and you go out into a world where they aren't there anymore, you start thinking, tap dance and this person likes me still. And the alien's like, I hate tap dancing. You know, like, it's like, don't tap dance anymore. And you create all these patterns. And the reason is because there's a you that's been doing this and it's been trying to get acceptance from the aliens. And eventually, you'll start to realize that right now there's a you that can give that little you acceptance now. And that's what that voice is. I hope I do this right so that mom will love me. I hope I do this right so I won't get abandoned again. I hope I do this right so that I won't get yelled at, right? And it's just trying to get love. And what it needs is for you to sit there and be with it and feel it and go, I feel you. Because it's trying to get love from them. So now it's your turn to go, they couldn't give you the unconditional love that you can give you. And sometimes we have expectations and realize that the only reason we're hurt is never by the way that our heart is broken. It's that our expectations are broken. And if you came here, thank you, both of you. If you came here, because your expectations are based on what you've seen so far, and they can't touch what happens when you truly let go and you allow. Do you understand what I'm saying? The biggest vision board you can make for yourself is nothing compared to what can happen when you let go. Because time's still going to happen. You don't need to monitor it. You don't need to sit here and go, okay, I'm going to have $1 million in this Lamborghini. You'll notice that that won't fulfill you. The biggest illusion I've learned in my life is when something happens, I'll be happy. So many people are in a position right now, almost everyone here could think, when I get that one thing, when I get that raise, when I get that promotion, when I get that person to like me, when I get out of this relationship, when I stop this addiction, I'll be happy. Whatever it is, I'll be happy then. And I understand it. But it's not when something happens, I'll be happy for me anymore. It's when I'm happy, things will happen. And it's not when I'm happy like Ned Flanders' smile. It's like when I'm okay with all of myself, when I'm okay with my anger, when I'm okay with my sadness. And by the way, the only way out of that pain is through. So when that pain comes up, you got to feel it. It's been waiting to be felt. And there's a little 5-year-old you that just wants to be accepted by the you now and say, I hear you. I know that love you didn't get from your parent. Well, I love you. And let that thing feel and let it cry. Crying is a good thing. So many people think I'm just going to cry so that eventually I'll be happy. But you're implying happy is better than crying. And crying actually does feel good when you face it. Crying doesn't feel good when you resist it. The pain only doesn't feel good when you resist the pain. It feels amazing when you look it in the eye, right? So if you feel pain, feel it. But sometimes we're like, I got to go live away from everything. No TV, I have to eat this way only, I have to be this way. And then really you're saying, even though I'm nothing but love, I'm still scared of what I perceive as darkness. And I think the more you can take all the stories in your past and love them, the more that you can feel scared shitless and still love it and accept it, the more power you're going to emanate. The more you can accept your darkness, the more light you're going to shine. So you have all these thoughts that show up and then they leave and you're still here. You have all these different bodies that you've had. You had a different body yesterday than you do today. So there's no way what you are is your body. You've had different belief systems than you do now. I used to believe that the most important thing in the world was to be the #1 stand-up comic in the world. And now I don't believe that anymore, but I existed through both of them, so I'm not my beliefs. So whatever belief you're holding on to, realize that's not you. It's just a passing thing. So who you are is the space that these beliefs are showing up in.